Hello everyone, welcome to a very special video. I'm DTM as always, and yeah, I've been having so much fun with Summoner Duels. Honestly, I've just been having a blast, and I'm trying to reach 200 wins. And what have I encountered during my way? But the one and only LevinSety's, who is honestly one of my inspirations of making content creation. So I was really happy to be able to match with him, and as you can see, I did get the win. But LevinSety's, if you haven't seen his YouTube video, has this quote-unquote toxic Duo Dagr team, and I guess it's up to Lucina coming from the future to save us all from FEH's mistakes. But no, it's all in good fun. And yeah, I wanted to make this video not only to showcase the match, but to also give some tips and tricks on how to deal with Duo Dagr. There's no like foolproof strategy for really anything, like either Duo Dagr, the LGB's Pala strat, or like a bunch of other strategies. There's no foolproof or like step-by-step instructions on how to, win those games. But I will give like some things that I've noticed helped when dealing with these, because it can definitely be dealt with. It's not like the win button. There is some counterplay. There's quite a bit of counterplay actually to this, which I'll get into in a moment. But yeah, just as before we get in, it is one thing to watch a replay and have like infinite time to see what our options are. It's another thing to actually be in the moment and have that time pressure on you. So there will be mistakes made by me, and so I would, and obviously by other people as well. So just, let's be nice to each other. But yeah, without further ado, let us begin. And yeah, I'm starting off this replay. As you can see, we are on bridges, which I'm not a big fan of because, as you can see, if you have ranged cavalry units, you can immediately apply a lot of pressure to the area. Most maps, you start in the corner, so you actually have to like traverse land in order to begin applying pressure to your enemy. But in this map, it's boom, right in your face, which makes it pretty advantageous for the first move player. But anyways, as you can see, we have our Sigurd, Duo Dagr, Bjorn, Lysithea, the works, while we have here Erica, Henriette, plus 10 Lucina, who again is our savior, and Peony. So, starting off the replay, LevinSety's opts to immediately reposition Bjorn in. And now it's my turn, and basically my strategy going into this is to always respect the fact that Dagr here can pop her dual skill at any point. And what that means is that you have to treat as if these ranged units were not on the back line, but on the front line. So for example, I have to treat as if Lysithea was in the place of Bjorn, because if Dagr goes here and then pops a dual skill, Lysithea can just use Pathfinder to go here and then go 1, 2, 3, and then this triangle here is basically her threat range. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, obviously very oppressive, but you don't see that, so you have to keep that into account in order to not be caught off guard by it. And so I respected it, and I only moved Lucina up 1. And again, this is one of the things why Bridges is not my favorite map, because normally, since you're in the corners, it'll take a long time for that to actually come into effect. But LevinSety's uses Lysithea to repo up Dagr, having the Pathfinder in front, and then having dual Sigurd able to dance either Lysithea or Sigurd, depending on the situation. And this is what I mean. Lysithea, because of Pathfinder, you have to assume Lysithea is actually right here, and can therefore apply this threat range. Same thing with Sigurd. If the dual skill gets popped, Sigurd, you have to treat as if Sigurd was right here. And again, would be the range of Sigurd. And so the best way to deal with this is to either have a savior unit that can withstand all these attacks, or have a cavalry ranged unit yourself to attack Duo Dagr. For instance, if Henriette was not Henriette, but instead Ninjoran, for example, Henriette or Ninjoran could immediately attack Dagr, and the opponent would be punished for having that Pathfinder unit in there. And so this is why I don't think Pathfinder is as broken as, say, the +1 movement of Legendary Sigurd or Legendary Azura. It's because that Pathfinder doesn't actually extend the range from your front line. It only just allows your ranged units to be on the back line or provide overlap. And so you don't actually are able to outrange your opponents that way. And if your opponent can outrange you, then the Pathfinder unit you place in front will obviously be extremely threatened. But unfortunately, I do not have a savior unit or a ranged cavalry unit that is good. Henriette is not that great of a far save. And so basically, you have to make it so that it would be unfavorable to attack into. For instance, if LevinSety's here dances Sigurd and goes in and attacks Henriette, Sigurd would immediately get hit by both Erica or Alm in this case. And so that would be an unfavorable trait, especially since the dance would be used and no one else could have any more actions. And same thing again, if they dance Lysithea, because of how Trace works, Lysithea would have to expend all her movement to take out Henriette, and therefore cannot Canto away, and Erica can immediately go in and attack. So yeah, that is just some of my thought process on how to make sure that it would be unfavorable for the opponent to actually attack into me with this range. And so I dance up Lucina just to get some actions, and LevinSety's decides to dance up Lysithea, which again basically signals that Lysithea will be the one that makes the aggression. So now I'm thinking about potentially moving Alm in and then attack. But again, because of Lysithea's oppressive threat, we have to do this carefully. And so therefore, we need Henriette up here. But since there are some units that can still have actions, for example, Dagr can reposition Lysithea in, and then just get a lot of actions that way. And basically have like more Canto options essentially. Or like Fjorm could swap and stuff like that. Basically, I don't want any shenanigans. So I just decided to move Erica up one. And again, that would still require Lysithea to attack max range, which will mean Alm can attack in counter. And so yeah, LevinSety's decides to move over this way, and I decide to creep Henriette in. And again, this is safe to do because if Lysithea goes in and attacks here, she can only cancel back one because of how the trace works. And so afterwards, because there's basically no other unit to attack Alm besides Dagr, and Alm can definitely survive Dagr, that gives me an opportunity to repo Alm in and counterattack. And so yeah, LevinSety's decides to end turn with Dagr, which I think is a fairly okay move. So I decide to repo Alm in with Lucina. And now one of these units are going to die. So LevinSety's here has a choice. With Lysithea, the only way Lysithea can actually the only unit that Lysithea can attack is Henriette, since everyone's in save range. So one of these units is going to die. LevinSety's could potentially attack Henriette from here, but that, or here, but that doesn't help because Alm would still be able to attack Lysithea in response. Because if Lysithea attacks from here, that will be 2 movement, and you only have 1 Canto movement remaining. So the only option is either here or here, which Alm can obviously get. Or attack from here, but then again the movement is either here, here, or here, which Alm can obviously get. So it depends on who you want to sacrifice, Lysithea, Dagr, or Fjorm. But at the end, Lysithea is more important to LevinSety, which is definitely true since Lysithea is a beast. And so decides to protect Lysithea with Dagr and Fjorm. And so I decide to take out Dagr and remove that oppressive threat. And yeah, because of Close Call, Lysithea again cannot kill Alm. She'll just kill Henriette because of the far save range, which will allow Alm to immediately attack. So Sigurd has to be the one that does the job, and indeed he does. Just barely, which is a bit unfortunate, but Erica can move in and attack. And now here I actually made a mistake. What I should have done is I should have moved back here. That way, if Lysithea attacks, whether it be from here attacking here, or here attacking here, or here attacking here, there would be no way for Lysithea to escape, because if Erica was here and Henriette is dead, we can have acrobatics dance up Erica, and then Erica can immediately respond by taking out Lysithea. But instead, I went over there, which was a mistake. So now Lysithea can take out Henriette, and here Peony cannot dance up air in response for Erica to take out Lysithea, which is a bit unfortunate. But I decided to move in Lucina, and obviously LevinSety decides to dance up Lysithea, which is a good move, the most oppressive unit. So here, LevinSety has a choice. LevinSety can either attack Erica or Peony, but that will mean that Lucina can immediately shred Lysithea, which I think would be an unfavorable trade, or Lysithea can try to attack Lucina. And there is a play that could work if Lysithea is able to take out Lucina from LevinSety. Lysithea could simply attack from here, take out Lucina, and then Fjorm could go in with extra movement and swap, and on the next turn, that will protect Erica from being able to reach Lysithea, and would have to just take out Fjorm, which is obviously not as important. But unfortunately, I did calc this, and Lysithea cannot actually kill Lucina. Lucina one-shots her back, so that is really unfortunate. But just goes to show how stacked Lucina is. Oh, and Fjorm, there's no way Fjorm is able to take out Lucina. Like, Fjorm's not that good, sorry. So yeah, a bit unfortunate, but that's what happens when you Omega stack a Lucina. And so yeah, LevinSety has to retreat. But I can simply end turn, and I could take out Dual Sigurd. And here, again, LevinSety could either take out Peony or Erica, but that would mean Lucina can immediately attack Lysithea, or Lysithea can attack Lucina. But again, she's not able to, so that is a bit unfortunate.
Something wonderful.
And so yeah, here I decide to dance up Erica, which means that if Lysithea does go in and attack Lucina now, Erica can immediately counterattack because Lysithea can only move back one because of the trace skill, which actually that also applies on the last turn. If Lysithea last turn tries to attack Lucina, I could have danced and then counterattacked as well, since Fjorm is pretty much kind of useless in this match. So yeah, and from here we've basically won. I retreat. LevinSety tries to aggress, but I just keep everyone into safety. And here, even if Lysithea does kill Lucina, Erica can immediately counterattack, since Lysithea would have no Canto remaining. And so yeah, and because I have movement advantage, I just need to wait until LevinSety expends all his actions, and then just go in. And from there, it's GG's. So yeah, this was a really good game. Shoutouts to LevinSety's for an absolutely amazing team. Honestly, it was so fun to play this match. And yeah, very impressive team. I love it. Maybe some of your opponents don't, but it is Summoner's Duels after all. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed and hopefully picked up on some tips. Again, Duo Dagr is definitely oppressive, but it's definitely not unbeatable, or I consider it the most broken thing out there compared to, in my opinion, Yuri or Ashe. But it's definitely an extremely oppressive toolkit, so you definitely want to respect that. So yeah, good luck in Summoner's Duels, and hope you all had an amazing time. Hope you all enjoyed the content. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help support the channel. And yeah, again, great games, LevinSety, and see you all next time.